Hello everyone, this is Aryan Thakkar, your coach and mentor, and welcome back to my YouTube channel on Aryan Tutorials, where in this video I'm going to take up Rhapsody's third poem for ISC class 12, which is Beethoven, written by Rain Koiza. Okay, now Beethoven by Rain Koiza. It's actually Shane Koiza, but then he himself pronounces his name as Rain Koiza. So that is what we are going to pronounce it as Rain Koiza. I would always advise children to first read the description that is given in the about the poet section, so that at many a times, you get phrases and words which you can incorporate it in your answer. Now, this is very complex poem. Please try to understand it on a deeper level. जहां जहां पॉसिबल होगा मैं आपको हिंदी एक्सप्लेनेशन भी देने का कोशिश करूंगा. I'll make it a blend of both Hindi and English. But please do not be obsessed with getting explanation in Hindi. It is not possible to teach everything in Hindi, and this is not your second language paper जहां पे आप अपना आंसर्स हिंदी में लिखोगे. You ultimately have to write it in English, and in order to do so, you have to have the right choice of words, vocabulary, and phrases which you can use in your answer. So, chalo, let's get started. Beethoven by Rain Koiza is a descriptive poem. Very important. First of all, take note of that. The genre, the style of the poem is that of descriptive. It describes the struggles of a childhood struggles of the central character, whose full name is Ludwig van Beethoven. Okay? So Beethoven by Rain Koiza is a descriptive poem that uses vivid imagery, means detailed imagery, to explore the theme of acceptance. Please use it in your answer. The theme of acceptance. He struggled as a child to be acknowledged and accepted in his own familial environment. अपने परिवार के ही बीच में उसको अपने लिए एक जगह बनानी पड़ी. That sort of a childhood trauma he had. Beethoven suffered from physical and emotional abuse since his childhood days. He was physically and emotionally tormented. He was tortured. Yet his whole existence was so caught up in trying to achieve. His entire life, he kept on struggling to achieve, to get that pinnacle of excellence. Now, what is the meaning of pinnacle? Pinnacle is basically the extreme height of something. Like the topmost part of anything is called pinnacle, the pinnacle of excellence. यानी ऐसा excellence जो कि कोई शायद imagine ही कर सकता हो. That is pinnacle of excellence. ठीक है? Like the being best at what he does. Pinnacle of excellence that he found it very difficult to connect with others. And in his journey to achieve that mastery over his musical journey, basically he was a musical composer, and he used to give such melodies, like you can compare Beethoven to that of हमारे generation का Arijit Singh. That when you close your eyes and listen to the lyrics of Arijit Singh, it just takes you on a different, I would say, on a different spectrum altogether, on a different level, on a different dimension altogether. So was the case with Beethoven's musical composition. His musical composition had a power to traverse the inner soul of a person to a distant journey altogether. Okay? So he was struggling to achieve that pinnacle, that height of excellence, and in doing so, he found it very difficult to connect with anybody that he came across in his life. That is what this poem tries to capture. Chalo, let's get into line by line explanation of Beethoven written by Rain Koiza. सबसे पहले आप कुछ कुछ चीज का notes बना लीजिए, which is important. Indeed, there is a physical setting, but on a deeper level, if I tell you, Beethoven tries to capture or encapsulate the emotional landscape, the mental setting through Beethoven's experiences. Okay? We as readers, we are taken on an emotional journey through his life experiences when we read the poem line by line. So the emotional and psychological landscape of Beethoven's life, that is what this poem tries to capture. And the poem is meant to take the readers on an emotional journey through Beethoven's own life experiences. Poem on a deeper level explores through tumultuous childhood, means a traumatic childhood, struggle with deafness. We come to know that in spite of Beethoven being an extremely majestic composer of music, still the harsh reality of his life was that he himself could not hear his own musical composition. So he was deaf. Just imagine where the entire world praises you for the work that you offer to others, but you yourself cannot touch or see or feel that work. That is what the harsh reality of Beethoven's life was. Yet it did not stop him from giving up on life. His determination, his perseverance, his resilience to become great, it led him to become one of the leading composers of the entire world. ठीक है? So through his tumultuous childhood struggle with deafness and unwavering means which cannot be easily shaken, unwavering devotion and dedication towards music of the famous musical composer, that is Ludwig van Beethoven. That is his full name, Ludwig van Beethoven. ठीक है? Now, coming to the title pays homage and tribute. So it is like it is paying a respect and a tribute, reverence to Beethoven's enduring, means everlasting legacy and his impact on the world of music. The way he has contributed towards the world of music and arts, it is enduring, means it will always remain evergreen. And that is why this poem has been written in tribute to Beethoven. The title is synonymous. It's like a synonym to his genius, innovative and artistic mastery. And besides, the title sets the stage for exploration of Beethoven's life, struggles and achievement as we go deeper. So through the text of the poem, we'll come to know about how Beethoven's childhood was and how did he transformed into one of the greatest musical composer, and basically in order to understand him, what is important. Take care. So chalo, let's get into the line by line explanation of Beethoven. So poem opens like this, listen. So the first word, the poem has been opened with the first word listen, basically to draw the attention of the readers, to capture the attention of the readers. Listen. His father made a habit of hitting him. So basically Beethoven's father was very overbearing and his father was very abusive. He used to indulge himself into physical violence. So he used to physically abuse Beethoven as a child. So his father was abusive. His father made a habit out of hitting him. See, some men drink, some men yell, some men hit their children, but this man did it all. Because I guess all men want their boys to be geniuses. Now, this is called a social conditioning, where you are trying to fit a narrative into the society that it is normal, it is normalized to hit the male children, because all the fathers or all the male members of a family, they expect their child to be genius. And in order to make them genius, it is normal to hit them or physically abuse them as a child. So that is why the line has been said that some men drink, means some men are alcoholic, some are little aggressive, ill-tempered, so they yell. And some men hit their children, so they indulge themselves into physical violence or abuse. But Beethoven's father did all three. He was a drunkard, he was ill-tempered, and he also had a habit of hitting Beethoven. He did it all because I guess all men, means all fathers, now he's saying it on a little sarcastic tone that maybe all men want their children, their boys to turn into geniuses. So it is a pre decided social conditioning which is imposed onto the society that this is how boys are to be brought up. No, even boys feel hurt. They also have emotions. They need to be dealt with tenderness and care. But then it is expected that लड़कों को तो कूटना पीटना ही पड़ता है ताकि उन्हें जीनियस बनाया जा सके. ठीक है? So that is what social conditioning is about. So these three lines captures Beethoven's traumatic childhood. That his father used to hit him, yell at him, and at the same time hit him. ठीक है? Beethoven, little boy, living in a house where a name meant nothing. Living in a house where mercy had to be earned through each perfect note, trembling up through the roof to tickle the toes of angel whose harps couldn't hold half the passion that was held in the hands of a young boy who was hard of hearing. So this is the story, this is the journey of Ludwig van Beethoven, that Beethoven, who is a renowned musical composer, The entire world knows his name for his musical composition. So see, it is said now that every art or every successful person has come out of a very traumatic experiences, and so was the case with Beethoven. Like so many rejection, and that too he was rejected from his own father. He was deprived of that fatherly love or that parental love which a child expects out of that family. And since he did not get it, that is why he had a traumatic experiences, and we'll talk about the traumas of Beethoven later on जब वो आगे नीचे आएगा. So Beethoven, he was a little boy, he was a child living in a house where a name meant nothing. So basically he was a boy where he lacked his own self-worth and identity, where his name was nothing for his father. So I would say this line itself is so ironical that Beethoven, who's such a renowned composer, the entire world praises him for his work, for his contribution in the field of music. Actually, as a child, his name was nothing in front of his father. He was worthless, as good as worthless to his father. Okay? So that is ironical, which is so great today, once was undermined and considered worthless and was disrespected. Beethoven living in a house where mercy had to be earned. So basically, Beethoven always yearned, always longed, always desired, expected of for a normal childhood, but he was deprived of that normalcy as a child. He did not have a normal childhood like others. कि बचपन में लोगों को बहुत प्यार मिलता है, बहुत नाजों से पाला जाता है, उनके पेरेंट्स उनका ध्यान रखते हैं. This was not the case with Beethoven. Okay. So where mercy had to be earned, and how that mercy had to be earned through perfect note tumbling. So basically, whenever he would strike that musical note, note is the musical note. So he had to earn his recognition before his father through that each perfect note that he would produce while playing on the piano. Okay. So Beethoven's childhood lacked warmth and compassion. So mercy had to be earned through each perfect note tumbling up through the roof to tickle the toes of angels whose harps couldn't hold half the passion that was held in the hands of a young boy who was hard of hearing. So basically, Beethoven's musical composition is being compared to that of angels' harps. Now, harp is an instrument which is played by the angels. अगर आपने देखा हो, harp basically कुछ आपने cartoons वगैरह में देखा होगा, it is this kind of a musical instrument which has strings, right? That is called a harp. So Beethoven's musical composition is being compared, means the intensity of musical notes that he created is being compared as if it would just tumble means it would just fall suddenly, and it would go up through the roof, it would go above the roof to tickle the toes of angel, as if the angels are sitting above the roof and his musical note would go and tickle the toe. Basically, the vibrations and sensation that one's body feels when they hear an intense music. Like रात को 12 बजे आप ईयर प्लग लगा के अरिजीत सिंह का कोई बहुत ही इमोशनल या हार्ट ब्रोकन सॉन्ग सुन रहे हो, at that time the level of feeling that you will get, you won't be able to feel that lyrics with that much amount of intensity when you hear it in the morning time, right? You're understanding what I'm saying? So Beethoven's musical intensity is being said that as if it would rise, go above the roof and trying to tickle yani gudgudi karna the toes of the angels whose harps is the musical instrument which is played by the angel, could not hold. Even the angels, when they produced sound or they produced music, even the angels' music could not hold, could not have half of the passion, half of the intensity that was held, that was there in the hands of a young boy. So, the kind of musical composition that this little boy Beethoven made, his musical composition is being compared to that of music composed by the angels. And even angels could not hold half of the intensity of music which Beethoven's hand held when he produced musical notes. But sadly, he was hard of hearing. Hard of hearing means Beethoven lacked his most precious tools, which was his eardrums. उसके पास अपने म्यूजिकल कॉम्पोजिशन को सुनने की क्षमता ही नहीं थी, शक्ति नहीं थी. ठीक है. Once again, Beethoven, who heard his father's anthem every time he put finger to ivory. It was not good enough, so he played softly. Not good enough, so he played slowly. Not good enough, so he played softly. Not good enough, so he played strongly. And not good enough. So, in order to gain his father's acknowledgement. He wanted his father to acknowledge him for the kind of art or the music that he produced. And when his father did not acknowledge him and rather was dismissive and rather was disapproving towards Beethoven's music and rather was very demanding, it felt as if his father's anthem means critical voice was like an abusive expectation each time, every time he put finger to ivory. Ivory means basically ivory is the tusk of the elephant, which is white in color. So ivory over here is being compared to that of the keys of the piano. ठीक है, keys of the piano के piano के keys भी white color के होते हैं. So he could feel, even though he could not hear his father's voice, obviously he couldn't hear because he was deaf, but he could feel that his father was not happy whenever he produced music or whenever his fingers touched the keys of the piano. And each time it was like it was not good enough. So, in order to convince his father, he would play slowly. Still, it would not be good enough, so he played softly. Still, not good enough, so he played strongly. Still not good enough. So, at no cost, his father would be satisfied with the musical notes that he produced. So, his father, relentless means again and again repeated dissatisfaction and the boy's struggle for approval. That is what this paragraph is trying to capture. His father would constantly disapprove Beethoven of his musical composition. Beethoven, as a little child, he constantly made efforts to please his father, to get that acknowledgement and recognition from his father with his different symphonies. Symphonies means with different musical notes that he produced. Okay, but then his father was not happy and his father was very demanding and he would not be satisfied at all. And when he could play no more and his fingers cramped up like the gnarled roots of tree trunks, it was not good enough. And when he could not play any further, basically when his fingers would cramp up, यानी उसके जकड़न, उसके उंगलियों में जकड़न आ जाती and एक point के बाद सूजन आ जाती, where he could not play any further, and his finger cramp is being compared with that of a gnarled roots. Simile like word has been used, which is simile as a figure of speech. So when he could play no longer and his fingers cramped up, means muscle cramps, he would get muscle cramps like the gnarled roots. Now gnarled का मतलब होता है that is interlocked into one another, like जो बहुत ज्यादा उलझा हुआ हो, ठीक है, rough and twisted, that is gnarled roots of tree trunks. कि जैसे कैसे पेड़ की जड़ें बहुत ज्यादा एक दूसरे में बहुत अजीब तरीके से जकड़ी हुई होती है. Even that sort of pain Beethoven would feel when he could not play any further after trying so hard to please his father. But still, at no cost, it was good enough. It was never good enough, no matter what kind of music he composed to please his father. ठीक है? And he would feel emotionally and physically drained. Beethoven, a musician without his most precious tool, his eardrums, could no longer pound out the rhythms for the symphonies playing in his mind. And Beethoven means the repeated mention is basically repeated mention of the name Beethoven. As you can see repeatedly, बार बार Beethoven, Beethoven, Beethoven यहाँ पे लिखा गया है. It is to emphasize and to remind us that this genius, who was considered as a genius, musical genius, was actually not considered of any worth in his own family. That is why Beethoven has been repeated again and again. So he was a musician, I would say rather he was a tragic hero who was deprived, who lacked his most precious tools. For any musician, that would be his eardrums, because any musician would want to hear what he or she has produced. But Beethoven could not listen to his own musical composition. So a musician without his most precious tool, his eardrum, that is his ability to hear, he was deaf and he could no longer pound out rhythms for the symphonies playing in his mind. And he could not pound out means he could not hear his own melodies, his own symphony, his own musical note that would go on into his mind and that he would create it for others to hear. ठीक है? So that is the sad part for Beethoven. He couldn't hear the audience clapping, neither could he hear his audience applaud, his audience cheering for him. Couldn't hear the people loving him. Obviously, when people go to concert and when they are lost in that, I would say the aura of that, the ambience and the atmosphere of that concert, of that hall, where they are listening to their most favorite artist or singer, the artist also feels fulfilled while performing for their audience. But then Beethoven could not listen to all the applauses and could not listen to all the praises which Beethoven's audience would grant him with. Okay? So he could not hear the people loving him and couldn't even hear the women in the front row whispering Beethoven. Okay? Whispering, maybe acknowledging Beethoven for his music that he's producing, but he could not hear any of it. Beethoven, as they let the music invade their nervous system like an armada marching through the firing cannonballs, detonating every molecule into their body into explosions of heavenly sensation, where each note leaving track marks over their every inch of that body, making them ache for one more hit. So basically, Beethoven's music had a divine power. ठीक है? It had a deep power and a profound impact onto the hearers. That is what this paragraph is saying. That when Beethoven would produce music, it seemed as if the music is like an armada. Armada का मतलब होता है someone that is a very powerful battalion, a military force that is creeping in. So you can understand, just imagine कि महाभारत के टाइम पे दोनों साइड पे जब दोनों कौरव्स एंड पांडव की आर्मी भिड़ रहे होंगे, सो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड द इंटेंसिटी ऑफ द एंटायर बटालियन, एंटायर आर्मी दैट इज मार्चिंग डाउन द बैटलफील्ड. So his music is being compared, his intensity of music is being compared with that of a whole army, as if the entire melodies which Beethoven is producing is being compared to that of like an army which is entering, which is invading into the eardrums of the listeners. ठीक है? Marching through like firing cannonball. So the symphony, the melodies which Beethoven would produce, and when it would creep into our ears, it was like some fire cannon which is shooting into our ear, and it is leaving a profound impact and a deep sensation into the listener's body. कि जो लोग सुन रहे हैं, like अरिजीत सिंह का म्यूजिक रात के समय में आंख बंद करके या बारिश हो रहा हो उस टाइम पे जब आप सुन रहे होंगे, वो जो एक फीलिंग, एक डीप प्रोफाउंड इम्पैक्टफुल फीलिंग जो फील होता है, दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ सेंसेशन इज बीइंग कंपेयर्ड टू दैट ऑफ बीथावन्स म्यूजिक. ठीक है? So his melodies was like the armada who was marching through the firing cannonballs. Detonating means exploding. Every molecule means every sensation in their body into explosion of heavenly sensation. Means it is leading to an impactful vibrations and sensation into the body of the listeners upon hearing Beethoven's music, where each note leaving track marks, each note, each symphony, each melody produced by Beethoven was leaving an indelible, यानी irremovable imprint mark into the minds and body of the listeners over every inch of that body, making them ache for. So when they would hear the melody of Beethoven's music, it would make them ache for or desire for, long for one more hit ke once again, ek aur baar. So Beethoven's music was irresistible. It was like an irresistible pull. It was like an adrenal rush which is going on within you when you hear it. It is like that emotion that you experience when you meet your partner, your lover, for the first time. So it was that kind of an emotion that his audience, Beethoven's audience, would experience when they would hear Beethoven's musical composition. ठीक है? And he was an addiction. Beethoven was indeed an addiction to hear. And kings and queens, it didn't matter. The man got down on his knees for no one, but amputated the legs of his piano so he could feel the vibration through the floor, and the man got down on his knees for music. So it did not matter to which social hierarchy people belonged, whether be it kings or queens or any aristocrats or nobles, he did not bow before anybody. So basically, he never gave up on his self esteem or his self respect or his pride. Rather, he amputated, means he cut his leg. Beethoven was such a true devotee to his art. वो भक्त था लिटरली म्यूजिक का, कि अपने म्यूजिक को भले वो सुन नहीं सकता, लेकिन उस म्यूजिक को फील करने के लिए, उसके वाइब्रेशंस को फील करने के लिए, ही जस्ट एम्प्यूटेटेड द लेग्स ऑफ हिज पियानो. आपको पता होगा पियानो के भी लेग होते हैं. ही जस्ट कट द लेग ऑफ हिज पियानो so that the piano could touch the ground, and whenever he would produce melodies, musical notes, through the vibration he could feel the intensity of his music. So he was so passionate about his music, he was such a devotee towards his art, that he stretched his way beyond to feel the music into his body. ठीक है. So Beethoven never got down on his knees for anyone, for kings, queens, or for any royals or any nobles, but rather he just amputated the leg of his piano. He cut the leg of his piano so that he could feel the vibration through the floor, so that it could compensate for his deafness. The vibration of the music would compensate for his deafness, and the man got down on his knees for his music. So he was a true devotee, his unwavering, never giving up commitment to his music. That is what this paragraph captures. And when the orchestra played his symphonies, it was the echoes of his father's anthem repeating itself. So when Beethoven would direct, he was a composer, so he would direct the musicians, other musicians of the orchestra, to play the melody that his mind was producing, and when they couldn't actually, and when Beethoven could feel through the vibration of the music that this is not what he wants, this is not the outcome or the result of his composition that he is looking forward to, he would feel, and when the orchestra wouldn't understand what kind of melody is he seeking out for, he would feel as if his father is once again criticizing him. He could hear his father's anthem repeating itself. He could hear his father's criticism once again, like a broken record. Now, what is a broken record? पहले के जमाने में एक म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट आता था जिसमें बड़े से सीडी प्लेयर लगाए जाते थे, एंड देयर वाज अ पिन सॉर्ट ऑफ अ थिंग व्हिच वाज अटैच्ड, एंड वो पिन के थ्रू सीडी घूमते रहता था, एंड अगर वो अटक जाए तो कंटिन्यूअसली एक ही नोट को प्रोड्यूस करेगा. दैट इज व्हाट अ ब्रोकन रिकॉर्ड मींस. So he would hear his father's critical voice once again when the orchestra wouldn't understand what is he trying to compose. He would feel as if he is being criticized for the kind of composition that he wants to put out. And it was like his father's criticism that he had heard during his childhood, which was like a broken record. And it was not good enough. So they played. Now this time the orchestra is trying to convince Beethoven through the musical composition. Beethoven is directing the orchestra to play music in a certain way, in a particular manner. But when they could not please Beethoven, when they could not convince Beethoven with the kind of music they would produce, so they would play softly, still not good enough. Beethoven would not be convinced. So they played, first they played slowly and then they played softly. Again, Beethoven is not convinced. So they played strongly and still it is not good enough. So this time it is like a repetition of the same trauma which Beethoven had. It's going on once again. Beethoven is getting to live that traumatic experience through orchestra not being able to handle or understand his musical genius, and it was not good enough to him. So the cadence, the musical notes could not satisfy Beethoven's relentless pursuit of perfection. Beethoven was seeking out for that perfect musical note. But when orchestra's failure to their failed attempt to make that sort of a musical note, it would lead to rejection, that Beethoven is disapproving this kind of music. So it was like the same father's anthem that he had experienced during his childhood. And when obviously the orchestra could not convince Beethoven with their musical composition, so when they tried to mock the man, they tried to make fun of Beethoven, make fun of his madness by mimicking the movement. Mimicking means by emulating, by copying the movement. So किसी ने कुछ बोला तो आप उसको भी, उसने आपको डांट दिया तो आप भी उसको मिमिक करके, उसका एक्टिंग करके उसी को सामने से दिखा रहे, जस्ट उसको चिढ़ाने के लिए. So when the orchestra, the musician, they would not be able to produce that sort of music which Beethoven is seeking out for. They would just mimic him, copy him in order to make fun of him. ठीक है? And instead of playing the music, they would just hold their instruments a little away so that no sound was produced, holding their bows a quarter of an inch above the strings and not making a sound. And it was perfect. So, what they would do is instead of playing that music, they would just hold their instrument a little away and they would act out as if they are playing, but actually they are not playing. वो लोग कुछ बजा नहीं रहे, बस नाटक कर रहे, दिखा रहे कि वो लोग इंस्ट्रूमेंट को बजा रहे, but actually नहीं बजा रहे. So there was actually no sound which was being produced, and that is what was perfect for Beethoven. No sound, silence was perfect to Beethoven. Why? Because those people who lacked something, like Beethoven, uh, he lacked voice, not voice. He was able to speak, but he could not hear voice. His ability to hear voices or sound, he had developed a strong intimacy, a strong relationship or a bond with silence. So those people who are blind, those who don't have vision, they create a different kind of relationship with darkness. Their perception, their way of perceiving darkness is very different than that of ours. In the same manner, Beethoven's intimacy, his relation with silence is very different with that of other people who can hear voices. And that is what it is being said, that you see, the deaf have an intimacy with silence. Like people who lack something, they develop a different kind of connection with the thing that they lack. So, Beethoven had developed a profound, a very deep intimacy with silence. It it seemed as if silence permeates, it exists in Beethoven's subconscious and conscious state both, ठीक है, influencing his dreams as well. It's there in his dreams, and that is what it is written. Silence to Beethoven was pervasive. Pervasive means everlasting, always present. And musicians turned to one another, not knowing what to make of the man trying to calculate the distance between madness and genius. And when the musicians, they would not understand what actually Beethoven is seeking out for, or what is he calculating in his mind, or what he is thinking, the kind of musical note that he is composing in his mind, they would just turn to each other, look at each other to understand. Maybe someone would understand that what actually Beethoven is trying to calculate or estimate, which was a distance between either madness or genius. So either Beethoven's musical intellect was that of being like a maniac, like a mad person. Every artistic person is considered as mad person, but actually in the end they turn out to be a genius because they create a masterpiece. ठीक है? Realizing, and then the musicians would realize that Beethoven's musical measurements, that Beethoven's musical heights, his way of perceiving music could take you to the distances reaching past the towers of Babylon and turning solar system into symbol that crashed together, causing comets to collide and creating crescendos that were so loud that they shook the constellations under the star until the stars began to fall from the sky, and it looked like the entire universe had begun to cry. And distance must be an illusion, the man must be a genius. So basically, by the time Beethoven's musical measurement, by the time they would realize that actually Beethoven's musical intellect was so intense that the kind of music that his mind created, that it could literally lead to celestial समझते हैं आप लोग, celestial यानी universal, cosmic elements to happen in universe. कॉस्मिक एलिमेंट्स यानी सितारे गर्दिश में टूटना शुरू हो जाए, पूरा सोलर सिस्टम एक सेकंड के लिए हिल जाए या कांप उठे उसके म्यूजिकल नोट्स को. सो बेसिकली हाइपरबोली हैज बीन यूज्ड, ओवर एग्जैजरेशन हैज बीन यूज्ड ओवर हियर to depict the intensity of the passion that Beethoven's music had. So Beethoven's music could create vast means huge, cosmic impact. Cosmic means it could lead to celestial objects being displaced in the universe, and it holds the power to travel to great distances, that when the audience would hear Beethoven's music, it could take audience to some different dimension altogether. That much power and impact Beethoven's music had. So Beethoven's musical measurement could take you to distances reaching past the towers of Babylon. Now, what is Babylon? It is an allusion, a reference to a biblical city Basically, it was believed in Bible, it is said that Babylon was going to be such a high tower that it could touch the heavens up in the sky. So it is like Babylon would defy, break the barrier, the idea of distance when it would be built. So Beethoven's music is being compared to that of heights of Babylon, heights यानी ऊंचाई of Babylon, कि बीथावन का म्यूजिकल इंटेलेक्ट या जीनियस इतना ज्यादा था, इतना दूर तक था कि कोई वहां तक पहुंच ही नहीं सकता था। वो पूरा सोलर सिस्टम को उलट पलट कर सकता था, वो बेबीलोन के टावर्स को क्रॉस करके जा सकता था। इट कुड लीड टू सोलर सिस्टम इनटू सिंबल। सिंबल इज अ म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट विच इज प्लेड, दोनों को हाथ में लेके जो झन 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 बजाया जाता है उसको सिंबल बोला जाता है। सो इट कुड टर्न सोलर सिस्टम इनटू सिंबल एंड दैट वुड क्रैश टुगेदर एंड कॉजिंग कॉमेट्स यानी सेलेस्टियल बॉडीज टू कोलाइड, टू हिट, creating crescendos means musical notes of such intensity and so loud that it would shake the entire constellation, means the entire stars in the universe. So Beethoven's music had a deep impact and a profound impact on the hearers. That is what this paragraph, this stanza is trying to convey. Until the star would begin to fall from the sky, stars to shoot down. And upon hearing Beethoven's music, it would seem as if the entire world, the entire universe had begun to cry. It had started to cry. It would be in tears. And his musical composition and his musical intellect was so high, was so perfect, that when you would hear Beethoven's music, it would make you seem or feel that distance is nothing but just an illusion. कि हम लोग कहीं और नहीं जा सकते, शायद एक जगह में हो कि हम लोग कहीं और नहीं पहुंच सकते हैं। आंख बंद करके बीथावन की म्यूजिक को सुनना ही आप एक दूसरे प्लैनेट, दूसरे ब्रह्मांड, दूसरे देश में शायद पहुंच जाओ। Distance would have been illusion and this man would indeed have been genius. He truly would be a genius because of his musical composition. Because his music had a power to take people, to travel people on distinct places. Beethoven, his thoughts moving at the speed of a sound. Basically, his mind would create musical notes at an incredible speed. Maybe again, hyperbole, that is over exaggeration, has been used to convey that maybe Beethoven's musical intellect would create music which would be rapid, more fast than that of sound itself. We know that sound travels faster, but then Beethoven's musical mind would compose sound that would be actually faster than that of sound, okay? And transforming every emotion into music. So no matter whatever emotion Beethoven would feel, he could literally transform it, give it a shape, definite shape through his musical composition, through his music. And when you would hear Beethoven's music, for a moment it was like joy was a tangible thing. So once again, the intensity of Beethoven's music is being said that when you would hear Beethoven's music, it would make you feel as if joy, something being intangible, would actually be palpable. That you can touch joy, you can experience joy in its literal shape. Okay? And that you could touch it, you can physically experience joy in spite of joy being intangible. And for the first time, we could watch love and hate dance together in the waltz of such precision and beauty. And when Beethoven would create music, it would make us feel as if two opposite things, that is love and hatred, which cannot coexist together. But Beethoven's music was so intense that it would make us feel as if the love and hatred can dance together. The two opposite emotions can unite together into a harmony. Okay? Into waltz means, waltz, it's a dance form, it's like a ball dance, and love and hate would dance in the form of a harmonious waltz, ball dance of such precision and beauty, because of such precise and beautiful musical composition that Beethoven could make, that we finally understood. And it would make us realize as audience, when we would hear Beethoven's music, we would finally understand that history wasn't important to know the man. That in order to understand Beethoven, it is not important to go through his historical background, that we need to understand the history of Beethoven's life. It is not important to know his historical background to understand that person. Rather, all we had to do is listen. All we ever had to do was listen. So in order to actually experience Beethoven, to understand his journey, all we have to do is just listen to his musical composition. If we listen to music, we would understand Beethoven himself. ठीक है? So the last two lines tries to convey that it is through listening is a means, it's a way, it's a zaria to connect to Beethoven's music. Understanding Beethoven, his genius and his depth comes from experiencing his music. The poet begins and ends the poem with the same word listen to emphasize onto significance, importance of true hearing, actually listening to others and understanding Beethoven's story and emotions conveyed. So, in order to understand Beethoven's life journey, or in order to understand anybody's life journey, a very nice subtle message is that all we have to do at times to understand other is just listen to that person. ठीक है? So listen is ironical and in sharp contrast to Beethoven's deafness. That even though Beethoven could not listen to his own musical composition, but in order to understand Beethoven, we as an audience, all we had to do is listen. So I hope you all would have understood each word line by line. Everything has been explained in detail and you all would have liked the explanation. अगर कुछ गलती हो गया हो तो please माफ कर दीजिएगा because it is difficult to shoot in front of a camera. And I hope you are liking my content. If you are, then please do like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, keep studying, keep smiling. Take care. Bye-bye.